Hello everyone, my name's Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. It is my pleasure to finally announce the winners of the Golden Hammer Award 2020. My goodness, I had no idea that this competition was going to be such a success. I had so many entries and they were all so good that it was so difficult for me to pick my top 3 entries. Now, before I begin, I want to say 2 things. First of all, just wow, well done everyone. I'm so amazed with how well you all did with this. And second of all, this was during lockdown, so if people were struggling getting hold of paints and God knows what, you know, you guys absolutely killed it. I was so pleased with you guys. You did amazing. Second thing I want to say is a huge thank you to my 4 judges. Let me quickly tell you who they were. First of all, it was Amy Snuggs. She is someone I met through Twitter. She's an artist for Siege Studios and she is a phenomenal painter. She's always been someone who's there if I need any sort of help or advice on how to paint something, and yeah, she's far better at painting than I am. Em as well, thank you so much. She is currently a Twitch streamer and she used to be a Warhammer TV painter, so basically like what Duncan used to do. But again, so talented. And finally, I had Loremaster of Sotek. This is my go-to guy for any sort of advice with Warhammer Fantasy. The guy is seriously like an encyclopedia of knowledge, but also he's got his own YouTube channel, so go check him out. He's a really great guy. But yeah, we decided to individually look through all of the entries. We picked out our top 3, then I forwarded on our top 3 to AgeofSquidmar. So in theory, there could have been 12 things I forwarded on to AgeofSquidmar, but it turned out that some of the 4 of us had ended up picking the same people again and again. So there ended up actually being 5 finalists who went to AgeofSquidmar, and he ended up picking the 1st, 2nd and 3rd place. And I thought there was no one better qualified than AgeofSquidmar to pick the finalists. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly talk through some of my honourable mentions. There were so many amazing entries that I can't unfortunately talk about every single one, but I picked out a few as I was going along that I wanted to say something about. So I'll do a quick whistle stop tour of those. Then I will announce the winners and obviously show you who each of the 4 judges picked before AgeofSquidmar picked the 1st, 2nd and 3rd. And then finally I will do a quick sort of slideshow of all of the entries that I got for the competition. Now, apologies if I've made any mistakes. Apologies if I have credited you incorrectly. I tried to do my best. There were a few people whose files I couldn't access, so I'm really sorry about that. By the time I realised it was kind of too late and there wasn't much I could do about it. But first of all, I wanted to talk about this model. This so narrowly missed my top 3. I was debating about it for ages, and in the end I think I decided that because the armor was just a little bit simple, it ended just missing out. But this is an absolutely stunning model. It's got some freehand eyes painted on it over here. It just looks great and I would be so proud of painting something like that, so well done. Next we've got this one by Jonathan. Again, absolutely stunning. It is so crisp. The transitions between the colours is amazing and so narrowly missed out on my top 3 again. But I loved the base, it was so creative, and the blending between some really difficult colours, it just looked absolutely stunning. So again, amazing, well done. Charlie Kirkpatrick, this is one of the most stunning models I've ever seen, and this is one of my finalists, so I'm going to talk more about this one in a moment. Julian, again, another finalist for me. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite as incredible as this. So yeah, we'll talk a bit more about yours in a minute, Julian. Kit, another one of my top 3. So in fact, you've now seen all of my top 3, but this thing is just out of this world. The blending, the highlighting, the shading, it's phenomenal. John very narrowly missed my top 3. This thing is absolutely gorgeous and I wish I could paint like that. If I could do justice to this model, it would be straight on my shelf. All 3 of the people who painted Archaon and sent them in, they look astonishing. I very nearly put Max in my top 3, but he again so narrowly missed out to some other people. But I mean, Douglas, you went for a really kind of unique style of painting, which I absolutely loved. Max and John, you both went for the more traditional colour schemes. And Max, yours is so crisp. I believe you said in your email that it took you about a year to finish painting this, and I am not surprised. But the thing that I was particularly drawn to, apart from the very careful edge highlighting, is how crisp and vibrant you managed to get that orange. But yeah, absolutely stunning job there. Jeremy Paul, amazing diorama, well done. Absolutely love this thematically, and it reminds me of the Age of Sigmar novel I'm reading at the moment, but really liked that. This entry was another one that was really crisp and clean. There's a temptation with these sort of competitions to go for the big and more impressive models, but actually when you pull something off like this, it shows that it doesn't matter the size of the model, it's the quality of the paint job that we're interested in. So yeah, no, I was really excited to see this one. Caesar, you are in one of the finalists that I think someone picked, so this was a stunning job. It's a stunning model, we'll see more of this in a moment. I had to put this one in by Eugene, purely because I'm painting this model myself at the moment, and you have done such a better job of this than I have. Those tiger stripes look so crisp and clean, it looks absolutely amazing. Ashley having a go at painting metal with non-metallics. The skill involved is far beyond me to produce something like that, and the subtle highlight and the glow from the eyes, it just looks absolutely phenomenal, so well done. Jade, right, I wanted to say something in particular about this one. 13 years old, and sending me something as good as that is actually quite astonishing. I can tell you right now, I remember what my models looked like when I was 13, and they didn't look anything like this. Look at that, there's even like attempted text in the book. I just think this is absolutely fantastic, so you definitely deserved a shout out for all the effort you put into that model. Well done, absolutely amazing. This is another one that for some reason just really caught my eye, and you guys know I'm a massive Gloomspite Gits fan, but the colours, everything just works so well for this. The mushrooms, whilst they kind of don't draw your eye immediately because obviously the focal point is over here, there's something about the crispness of the red and the detail that's been painted on that just looks absolutely brilliant. Overall, I think this was the most impressive piece of scenery I got sent. And again, if I could paint something like this, I would be so happy. I know that when I eventually buy one of these models, because I absolutely love it, I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's got just about the right amount of kind of Gloomspite craziness, really good attention to detail, and again, just fantastic blending. Look at how many shades of colour there are in that rock. Really great job, well done. David, the reason I picked this was because all of these eyes have been freehand painted, and he went to such kind of lengths to actually make all of the eyes from different species. That was something I just thought was incredibly cool, and it's the kind of attention to detail that I really love. Dolinarius, if I'm saying that right, you said in your email that you didn't think your paint job was that amazing. I'm going to say I think this looked fantastic, but the reason that I thought this deserved a shout out was just the sheer brilliance of the basing. I absolutely love this castle. I don't know how you made that, but thematically it just looks so cool, and the little dwarf hiding in the back there, or Dwarden, I don't know, dwarf, Dwarden, whatever you want to go for, just looks absolutely amazing. It reminds me of the Millennium Falcon model you could buy, where you could seal it with a BB-8 inside, and it's that kind of detail where from the front you're never going to know the dwarf is there, but at the same time you know it's there, which kind of makes the whole model more interesting and exciting. So yeah, really great job. This was from one of my fantastic moderators of my Facebook group, so you definitely deserved a shout out, not only for how much you helped me with my Facebook group, but also for the quality of your painting. It's a really interesting style. I certainly couldn't paint like this. It's incredibly artistic and kind of almost sketchy, but yeah, a great job, and again, putting my work to shame. Otaku AP, I really liked this, particularly because you've gone with opposite kind of complementary colours. It's a nice crisp paint job, I really like it, and yeah, I'm quite excited about Seraphon at the moment. Jody, now at first glance this might seem a little bit simplistic, but if you look at the other pictures and all of it together, you realise just how subtly blended everything is in this picture. There's some seriously fine highlights and some amazing colour transitions, so I absolutely absolutely loved it. I really like this one as well. Yellow is such a hard colour to do or work with even, and you've got some battle damage going on, some really crisp highlights, but also the axe looks great. It looks like it might be done with contrast paints, but it's worked out really well for you there. And again, orc skin, so hard to do, but really hard to get that kind of yellowy green going on. So yeah, really impressed with that. Well done. I can't remember how many of the Alindas I received, but these two definitely stood out for me. Stuart was going for a really sinister and creepy kind of historical inspired look, which I absolutely loved. If I thought I could pull that off, I would paint that on my model in a heartbeat. But I also wanted to give out a shout to Camilla, who went for the traditional colour scheme and did a really crisp job of it. But also, I do believe you said your first one got broken. I can't remember the full story there. I think it was your boyfriend. So he was, you know, in trouble until you bought another one. Martin Orlando, again, this just looks so good. The absolutely phenomenal, crisp little highlights. I was blown away. It's an absolutely astonishing amount of detail that you've managed to get into that model. And again, some incredible highlight work. It must have taken so long to do this. Alex, I apologise. I really should have put the other picture in here because you sent me one with some incredible lighting on it and it was insanely cool, but definitely a contender for my top 3. This was such a good job. Philip, this again is absolutely amazing. It's so close to looking like it could have come straight out of a Games Workshop catalogue. And again, those flesh tones on these kind of rats or the vermin lords are really hard to pull off like this. So it's a stunning, stunning job. Luke, I absolutely loved 2 things on this. The basing was brilliant and the lighting and the glowing. It was so artfully and artistically done that you really deserved a shout out on here. Sunwalker89, really nice job here. Loved the glow from the lantern that you tried to achieve. That was really, really well done. This one here was pretty much a near enough textbook perfect Stormcast. Just look at how amazing the eyes look, the very subtle fine highlights, the sword, everything about this is really great, so fantastic job. Here's one from another fellow YouTuber. This is again a fantastic job. Look at the subtle shading and highlights on just the boot. Like, damn, I could never do that. That's absolutely fantastic. Manta Man Miniatures. This one you might not think is that impressive at first glance, but again, looking at all of the photos and when you realize how small this model is and how perfectly and crisply you've got all the detail, it actually ended up being one of my absolute favorites. So again, fantastic job, well done. And the last one I'm going to mention as an honorable mention is this one here by Andrew. It's a really different color scheme. I haven't seen someone try and do this with this model yet, but look at those lightning bolts that you've painted on the wings. I assume you've painted all of that somehow freehand, but it just looks absolutely astonishing. I don't know how you did that, but it looks incredible. So yeah, well done. There were also 3 honorable mentions from Loremaster of Sotek. He wanted to give me about 1 million because he was so impressed with how well you guys had done, and I was like, just give me 3, okay? But yeah, well done you guys for being honorable mentions from him. Right, so as I said, 4 judges in the first round. We picked our top 3. AgeofSquidmar then picked from those sort of shortlisted finalists who picked the #1 winner. So here were my top 3. Julian, Kit and Charlie. I think all of these are some of the most impressive models I have ever seen in my life, so well done. Just so you know, these are not in order. It wasn't a case of Julian first, Kit second, Charlie third. I didn't really want to show them in order, and also how could I really decide because they are all stunning. Something about Charlie's one really stood out to me, and Kit as well, but in fact they're all just amazing. Like, I could gush over these models for literally ages. Loremaster of Sotek picked 2 of the same as I did, but also went for Caesar's Alariel, so good job there. Amy Snuggs, she picked Kit and Charlie as well, but also picked out someone totally different. Now I have to admit that this entry here, I'd probably butcher your name, so I won't even try it, but it was a bit of an underdog in the competition, and actually when I went back and looked at the photos, I realized how much I hadn't appreciated how stunning and amazing this model, or diorama even, actually is. And then finally, M, she picked the exact ones that I did, so yeah, great taste I would say there. And again, don't forget that we had no idea what we picked. we all went away and then we chose our top 3. So just really quickly, let's go through some of the pictures of these finalists before I announce the top 3. This one was Caesar's, picked out by Loremaster of Sotek. Absolutely amazing highlighting going on here. But yeah, I mean, look at this thing. It speaks for itself. It just looks absolutely amazing. Nice pale skin tone. Look at that from the back. Like, the vibrancy of those colors is incredible. Again, I'm nervous to buy this model because I know that when I go to paint it, I will butcher it. But if I could have it looking like this, my God, I would be so happy. And again, the Wardroth Beetle, it's so crisp. It's so clean. It's so smooth. You must have somehow sprayed it. I don't know, because the paint has been applied so well. But yeah, there we go. That was Caesar's entry. Let's see some of the others. Charlie, there were 2 images of his amazing model. Can I zoom in on this? Yes, it is absolutely staggering. Look at the way the blood has been smeared on his hand, the scratches, the eyes. There is honestly nothing I can fault about this model. It is proper, like, heavy metal standard. Look at the perfection of the way that the wood texture has been picked out. This truly is a magnificent painting effort. Well done. And there's a quick look at the back. Even the freehand print on the back there. This is honestly something special. Next we had Julian. Again, when I first opened this, I almost couldn't believe what I was looking at. I can't even begin to imagine how many hours this would have taken. But the more you look at it, the more you pick out. Like, for example, here we go. If I look at this guy here, look at the freehand painting on the shoulder. It's absolutely insane. It's so good, but also somehow you've managed to do sort of highlighting in a really bright, almost white color, and it is as smooth as I have ever seen anything. The base as well, it looks amazing, and I don't know how you've done the skin on Catacross, but it just looks phenomenal. So next we had Kit with his Nagash. Can I zoom in a little bit? Yeah, here we go. Again, this thing just looks out of this world. I've never seen anything like this either. The basing is really interesting, but look at the subtle shading. It goes from really dark at the top to kind of intermediate, then very bright and light at the bottom. But again, this is pretty much a faultless model. I've never seen such perfect transitions of colors from such a dark color to so bright. And it's like every single inch of this model has some incredible color transition on it. It's absolutely phenomenal. And again, look how smooth this is. How do you even do that? It is pretty much perfection, let's face it. And again, the subtle edge highlighting is so smooth, so crisp, so perfect. It's staggering. I think this here was the image that did it for me, just zooming in on some of this detail and realizing how perfect it is, and how there's even like subtle bits of kind of green up in the mask, and look at how fantastic the face look is. Just unbelievable. So finally, this was the one that I'm calling the underdog of the competition, because when I submitted the criteria for this competition, I said only one model or a diorama, and I have to apologize. I opened the email, saw just this model of Felicula, or whatever she's called, Fecula maybe, I can't remember. And then I realized that there were some other models, and I didn't actually realize that you'd put them all together into a kind of diorama piece. And this is totally allowed. This is absolutely fantastic. But when you look at them all together, that is when you realize just how phenomenal the paint job is. I mean, look at the detail in this armor and the shades of the flesh. But the one that did it for me was this one here. Just look at that armor. My God, if I could paint like that, there would be no stopping me. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like the cracks in the armor, it's absolutely astonishing. So well done. Right, so now you know which were the 5 people who were shortlisted for the very final round. So here is what AgeofSquidmar picked when I sent them to him, and he was blown away as well. He thought they were amazing. Right, so in 3rd place we have the absolutely incredible model by Charlie. Fantastic job. You're going to get the 3rd place position for this year's award. Now what I'm going to do is, because the winner is going to get the start collecting box or the vouchers up to around £50, in 2nd place Loremaster of Sotek came forwards and said he was going to put $50 forwards for 2nd place, which is around £40. I'm also going to give £30 to third place. So Charlie, I will be in contact with you and we will work out how to get your prize to you. But seriously, this is one of the most astonishing paint jobs that I've ever seen, and I'm so glad you managed to make it into the final 3. So truly a fantastic job. Right, second place, so your prize is going to be very generously given by Loremaster of Sotek. We have this incredible diorama here, really well deserved, absolutely astonishing, and again, just something I could never achieve with a paintbrush. No matter how many hours I spent on this, I couldn't do it. So well done, you have won the second place for the Golden Hammer Award for this year. And yeah, just a massive thank you to Loremaster of Sotek for providing the second place prize. And that leaves our finalist, and again, someone who made it into my top 3 and I think really deserved to take the top spot, is the absolutely phenomenal paint job by Kit. So well done. Like, this model just blew me away. I couldn't believe it. So deserving of the top spot. I mean, let's have a look. You were in M's top 3, you were in Amy's top 3, you were in Loremaster's top 3, and you were in my top 3. So you made it to everybody's top 3. Now to Julian and Caesar, I would say that you so narrowly missed out. I mean, Julian, you were in 3 out of 4 of the judges' top 3, so you really do deserve a special shout out as well. But all I can say is it was so unbelievably close that, you know, I think you're all winners, to be honest. But right, to finish off the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut up. I'm going to play a slideshow of all the entries that I could download and name. It took me absolutely ages, but thank you everyone for entering. Thank you so much for the effort and the time you put into this. Thank you so much to my judges for all your help. Thanks to AgeofSquidmar for picking my top 3. Thank you so much to Loremaster of Sotek for your advice and also offering to generously donate a prize for second place. And obviously thanks very much to Amy and Em for their expertise and time as well. So don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully I will see you guys next year for the Golden Hammer Awards 2021. But until then, see you guys.